In 1986, I found myself racing to relay urgent news to former President Jimmy Carter during his speech at the University of Central Arkansas. Just as I arrived on campus, there was breaking news playing on the radio. The U.S. had launched airstrikes on Libya.
Air and naval forces of the United States launched a series of strikes against the headquarters, terrorist facilities, and military assets that support Muammar Gaddafi's subversive activities.
Airstrikes as foreign policy are pretty common today. They were unheard of until that night and Operation El Dorado Canyon. The press on site were still unaware of the attacks, but I spotted my friend Scott Charton, the broadcast editor for the AP in Little Rock. He thought I was joking. We found a payphone, called his bureau, and with some hustle and Charton's connections, we passed a message along to Carter. With over 3,000 people in the audience, Carter broke the news to them near the end of his speech. He said, "I just got word a few minutes ago that we were bombing Libya." A collective gasp echoed through the crowd, hauntingly clear on my tape recording. "That's all I know," Carter continued. "Bombing won't end terrorism. It may only serve to elevate it." Carter then shared some homespun wisdom from growing up on a Georgia farm. He said, "You don't poke a polecat with a stick." El Dorado Canyon led to a back and forth with Libya, ultimately resulting in the tragedy of Pan Am Flight 103 over Lockerbie, Scotland, a 747 taken down by a Libyan bomb snuck aboard. The ghosts of El Dorado Canyon have haunted U.S. foreign policy for decades, from Beirut to Ground Zero, Afghanistan to Iraq. After the speech, Carter held an impromptu news conference across campus where I arrived late again, but a Secret Service agent pushed me right next to Carter. Every now and then, a video from that news conference resurfaces, and there I am, skinny kid, next to a former president. The collective gasp that punctuated Carter's words of warning about war earned me an award for the year's best soundbite, and that sound of collective shock continues to echo through the decades off the walls of El Dorado Canyon. Godspeed, Jimmy.